What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling great. Let's get it in. I want to continue to talk about what happens. To talk about what happens when we die. Yeah, I want to continue that. You know. I like to think that we exist beyond the physical realm. I like to think that when we die, we somehow exist in a different state beyond the physical body. You know what I mean? But my thing is, I want to know is, when we die, are we going to have our memory? Like, am I going to, like, you know how when you dream, when you in a dream, you forget you have a kid, you forget you have a mom, you forget you forget you on earth, you forget your life when you in a dream. It's not until you wake up you realize you're dreaming. You realize I do have a kid, I do have a mom, I do have a brother, etc. You know, I do have a life. And they say sleep is a cousin of death. So when we die, are we going to still have our memory? Are we still going to remember our mom, our dad, our brothers and sisters? If you have kids, are we still going to remember them? You know, are we going to remember everything we ever did in this reality once we pass away? And we always ask, what's the purpose of life? But what's the purpose of death? Why do we have to die? I don't want to hear, oh, it's just a part of life. Yeah, but what's death's purpose? What is his purpose? You know what I mean? What's death's purposes? Like, what we gonna feel? What we gonna see? How we gonna act? Are we gonna know we dead? You know, so-called dead. Are we gonna know this? I'm gonna put y'all down real quick. Hold on. My bad, y'all. But yeah, are we gonna feel anything? What about reincarnation? Do you think, because they said energy can't be created nor destroyed. Is it possible we can't, or is it possible that we're gonna reincarnate? I'm talking you specifically, not everybody else. You in your life, do you think you'll reincarnate, you know, back into becoming a human? And if you do reincarnate, how do you know you're gonna become a human? What if you become a bird, a cat, a rat? What if you become an animal? If you're a man in this life, what if you become a woman in the next life? Or if you're a woman in this life, what if you become a man in the next life? What are the rules of reincarnation? You know, and another thing I want to talk about death is, what is that light towards the tunnel? Every near-death experience talks about the light. People seeing the light. What is that light? I heard a lot of theories. Some said the light is the moon. The moon is the soul trap, capturing moon. Somebody, you know what I mean? They say don't go towards the light. You know what's interesting about that? Every time I hear somebody say don't go towards the light, as if they died, they never really tell you what to do. Okay, don't go towards the light, then what to do? Tell me what to do. You told me not to go into the light, but nobody ever explained, if you're not supposed to go into the light, then what are we supposed to do? Then what we're supposed to do? You know what I mean? And when we die, right? Are we gonna automatically know everything? Like, are we gonna know who we truly are? Are we gonna be like, damn? Are we gonna be like, damn? This whole time it was just a dream. Just like when we dream. Just like when we wake up here. What if it's like that when we die? We would just be like, oh man, it was just a dream. I guess we want to know. And I think that's the reason why they give us heaven and hell, because they cannot explain what happens when you die, so they just give you religion. That's why religion is so powerful, because if you believe either heaven or hell, then you're not gonna try to seek knowledge on what really happened when you die. Some people are okay with that. Some people believe heaven and hell. Some people want to feel comfortable in that. So they're trying to be a good person in this world, just to go to heaven. They don't want to go to hell. They just want to go to heaven. But we don't know if heaven is real. That's what they told us. How do you know heaven is real? Have you been to heaven? And it's funny how most people that have near-death experience claim that, some of them claim that, they've been to heaven. How do you know it's heaven, though? You've never been there before. How do you know? It's funny how mostly only religious people, when religious people have near-death experience, it's always either heaven or hell. How come it's always the religious people? And when I study near-death experience on non-religious people having near-death experience, they don't talk about going to heaven or hell. Their experience is completely different from a religious person. Why is that? There was a near-death experience. I was researching, right? One of the near-death experience I heard was this lady. They said she died like 25 minutes. She was pronounced dead. She was dead for like 25 minutes, and then matter of fact, she was a neuroscientist. She said she went to some kind of warm place. She said it felt warm, and not only that, she said she saw her grandpa. She said she saw her grandpa and her dad, and they told her that it's not her time. And they pushed her back into her body. She said it felt like, her body, it felt like she was putting on the clothes when she got into her body. Like, they pushed her back. They said she's not ready. Ready for what? To die? And what's interesting is, okay, if she's seen her father, her grandpa and her dad, that means they had to have the physical features, right? Because you recognize them. You recognize that's your grandpa, and you recognize that's your dad. That means they had to have a body, right? To even recognize them in the first place. Or else, how would you know that if that's your dad or your grandpa? What is happening here? We know your physical body is trapped here, and we don't know how the soul looks. We don't know how your spirit looks. All we can see is a physical body. We know it's trapped here. So what did she see? How was she able to see her grandpa or her father? Did they manifest bodies? How does that work? You know what I mean? It's like, how does that work? And not only that, You hear a lot of near-death experience where people see their family members. I want to know, how does that work? Unless you believe unless you believe the archons could, trick you and to make you think that those are your love lost one, but really it's not. Maybe it's some kind of alien influencing your mind. You in between reality, or you in between near death. I don't know. Just a thought. They said the archon is set to. The archon could fool you to make you think that this is your mom or this is your dad. You know what I mean? So when it comes to near-death experience, for me, I don't. For me, my opinion, I don't think when somebody have a near-death experience, it doesn't like. It's not like you're fully dead. Obviously, near-death experience, right? It's not the same when you're fully dead. Because when you're fully dead, you can't come back. That's when you really, that's when you're really gone. It's not like you could come back and say what happened. When you're really gone, I'm talking about your body just gone for days. They have your funeral and everything. You 6 feet under. It's not like you could come back. They already took your organs out and everything. Or how they do that shit. It's not like you could come back and say what happened. Like you're really dead. You know what I mean? Again, what is the purpose of death? What is the purpose of death? Should we be afraid of death? You know what I mean? What if I'm trying to think about all possibilities. So if you're a person that believe in ghosts, so-called ghosts, what if your spirit, energy, or whatever you want to call it, stuck here on Earth? What if you are unable to move over to the other side and you trapped here on Earth? How would you escape? What if you have no knowledge on how to escape? What if you got other entities that know more than you and they know what you believe in, and they create a fake Jesus? They give you a fake Buddha. They give you your family member to try to trick you, to make you cross over, and then you reincarnate into a new body. What if they got other beings out there that what you call the death realm, the afterlife, or whatever you want to call it, the non-physical realm? What if you got other super advanced entity that control that side and that could trick you? You don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what happened when you die. You're not going to know anything. They don't teach you. It's funny how they don't teach you what happens when you die, but yet you're here. Yet you exist. You exist in this third dimensional reality. Yet nobody teach you what happens when you die, or what to do. Or if you're even going to remember you even had this life. In this society, people don't want to talk about death. They're scared. They fear death. People are scared to die. They're scared to die because they don't know what's going to happen. They fear the unknown. I think it's fucking beautiful, my opinion. I love talking about death. I think there's a negative, I think there's a negative thing behind death. Honestly. It's negative. No one wants to talk about that. But life is also negative too. Life is scary. Tell me life is not more scary than death. You can get struck by lightning. You can get killed by a wild animal. You can get raped, stabbed, shot. You can get killed by a hurricane. Life is scary. You have to watch your loved ones die. You have to bury your loved one. So life can get scary. So what is death? Tell me, what is death? You can get tortured. So what is death? Life is hard. Like, that shit is hard, bro. That shit is hard, my nigga. You pay to live on a planet that you are a part of, that you born for free. But you worried about death? What if death is the way out? What if death is a sweet gift that was given to us? I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a gift. Maybe it's part of the system. I'm just throwing thoughts out there, man. I'm learning. I'm growing. I'm trying to evolve my mind. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Because y'all living like y'all ain't gonna die, bro. That's the crazy part. Most of y'all live like like you guys aren't going to die, and that's the crazy part. And y'all want to ignore it. No matter how, like, you can eat healthy all you want. You can exercise all you want, which is good. You should do that. Take care of the body. You should do that. But just know it won't stop death from coming. I don't care how healthy you are. Death will come. Whether you're white, black, Jew, Muslim, Christian, atheist, you believe in God or not, you spiritual, death comes for us all, man. Comes for us all, man. Like, it doesn't care. Death comes for us all, you know. When babies die, right? When children die, when babies die, where they go? When babies die, where do they go? When animals die, where do they go? Everything is energy, right? Everything is spirit in this world, right? So where do that spirit go? The thing that animates the body, that animates the thing that's animate the animal body, where does that go? We live in a system that don't tell us much about death. The only thing they tell us is either heaven or hell. That's it. That's the only explanation you got? Heaven or hell? Be good, you go to heaven. Be bad, you go to hell. That's the only thing you got? Like, come on, man. I'm gonna need more than that. I'm gonna need a lot more than that. Or is it gonna be darkness when you die? Are we not gonna see? Are we not gonna see nothing? Remember anything? Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna put y'all down real quick. What if it's just darkness? Think about it. Think about before. Think about your life before you came here. Before you got named. Before you came into this reality. Before you was born. Think about what it's like. Nothing. You don't remember shit. It's nothing. It's blank. It's this darkness. You can try to remember, but it's nothing. Think about before you was born, man. Think about before you came into your mother's room, before you came into this reality. Think about where you was before. You can't, because it's nothing but darkness. You don't remember colors, you don't remember feeling, you don't remember fear, love, hate. None of that shit exists. You can't remember none of that shit. You do not experience these things until we come into this world. Until we come into this third dimensional reality. And if we do exist, if we exist beyond the physical realm, which I think we do, if we exist beyond the physical body, what the fuck is life then? This shit we call life, what is it? If I die right now in my spirit, my spirit or soul is somewhere else in the etheric realm. What is the real world? This world, then what is this world if that's the case? They always say if there's life after death, but I thought this was life though. Ain't this is life? Life after death. Ain't this life though? We see the sun, the moon, we see people. We smile, we smile, we make love, we create children and stuff like that. We do human being things. I thought this was life. Ain't this life? But they call it life after death. I don't understand that. What is this? Like, what is this? What is physical reality? What is it? Going back to what I was saying before, we didn't before we became physical, before we became humans, we didn't remember nothing. It was total darkness. It's not even darkness, it was nothing. Because darkness is something that is part of life. So it wasn't even darkness, it was just nothing. Because you don't remember shit. Is it like that when we die? Is it going to be like that when we die? And some people will say no, but if that's the case, then you will have to explain to us how come we don't remember anything before we were born, before birth. Where did we exist? I don't know, maybe we're not supposed to know. Maybe this whole thing's a game. Maybe we are trapped in a prison. Maybe this is hell. And if if this is a prison and we're being punished, for what? It's like, why do we exist? What's the purpose of death? Why do death exist? Why do we have to experience death? What is the reason? What is the purpose of it? I guess we'll never know. Because you'll have 10,000 different answers. That's the scary part. We'll never fucking know. Christians have a different perspective. The Buddhists have a different perspective. Spiritual people have a different perspective. Everybody have their own views and opinions. And at the end of the day, if we're being honest, we truly don't know. People just gonna go by what they're comfortable with. I don't want to go by what I'm comfortable with. I want the truth. I don't care how scary it is. I don't care how scary it is. I want to know the truth. I want to know what's the meaning of life. I want to know what's the meaning of death. That's what I want to know, man. I don't care for it to be scary. You niggas is scary of death. I don't fear death. Period. I used to fear death, but not anymore. I heard someone say one time, being afraid of death won't stop death from coming. Just because you're afraid of dying, just because you're afraid of death, it won't stop death from coming, man. Death won't stop. It's gonna come eventually. You don't know when. You could die today, you could die tomorrow. You have no idea when you're gonna go. Is there a timer on death? The minute you're born, is it a time that you're gonna die? And look at the word funeral. Funerals are weird to me. Don't get me started on funerals. I always thought funerals, it's like, this shit is weird to me. You're already dead. Now I gotta sit here and watch your dead body and people crying over your dead body. Bitch, you're gone. I'm not trying to be mean, but you're gone. You are gone. You are gone. You have to sit here and look at the body and then wait for the pastor to fucking do his thing, preach or whatever the fuck they do in the funeral. Or how they do in the funeral, right? Sit there and cry. Fake people coming at your funeral. They didn't even fuck with you when you was alive. Now they're at your funeral, fronting like they miss you. And then you have to watch the body. Like, come on, man. Bury you 6 feet deep. Where did that idea come from? The ancients didn't bury their loved ones 6 feet deep. Where did that idea come from? They didn't bury their loved ones 6 feet deep. Where did that idea come from, man? You know what I mean? And another thing I want to say, the word funeral. Look at the word funeral. The word funeral have the word fun. Fun neural. You might not think too deep about it, but I think it's kind of crazy that the word funeral has the word fun in it. And then they got the awake. The wake. But you're dead. Why did they call it the awake? You see, you don't understand the whole funeral, the whole wake, the whole funeral process, the death process. It's a ritual. It's a ritual created by the system. You think funerals and shit like that, it's natural. It's not natural. It's a ritual we are participating in. Bury your loved ones 6 feet, crying and crying and crying, not knowing that the energy or the consciousness that was once in that body still exists beyond the physical realm. What if you was able to go to your own funeral? How would you feel? What if you were able to go to your own funeral? Who's the first person you would look at? Who would you want at your funeral? And if they did come to your funeral, how would you feel? When you finally pass away, when you finally gone, again, are you gonna still have your memory? Are you gonna still remember are you still gonna remember your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters? Or all of that shit is gonna be gone? You don't know what's gonna happen until you die, man. You truly don't know what's gonna happen. And it's not sitting too well with me. It's not, because we have all this knowledge, all this technology, all these spiritual people, but yet nobody truly knows what happened when you die. It's not like we truly know, you know? You see, you're only temporary. That's the thing. You guys are only temporary. That's what y'all forget. The body is only temporary. You're only temporary. Things are temporary. You're not a child forever. You're not gonna stay young forever. The body eventually is gonna give out. Things are only temporary here. Question is, what the fuck you gonna do while you living? How do you live? How do you want people to remember you? Even if they did remember you, the people that once remember you is gonna pass away. 200, 300, 500, 600 years from now, 1,000 years from now, nobody gonna remember you. Nobody gonna remember you, man. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you got in your bank account. It don't matter how many cars you got. It don't matter how big your house is. It didn't matter if you pay your taxes. It didn't matter if you had kids or not. Having kids or not, it don't matter. That shit don't matter. None of that shit is matter, because all of that shit is temporary shit. It doesn't matter, because you're only here for a little bit of time. I could shoot 1,000 YouTube videos. It won't matter, because the people that's going to view it or your followers all going to be gone. Everybody that ever knew you or remember you is going to be gone. Who are you? What are you? And if everything is temporary and if everything is gone, again, what's the purpose of life? I always say this. What's the point? What's the meaning? Some of y'all might say, well, the meaning of life is to live, to have fun. Okay, and then what? If that's the meaning and purpose, then why do children die? Why do babies die? Some people don't get to experience love. Some people don't get to experience to have children. The problem is you think you know what the meaning of life is. You think you know what the meaning of life is, but you don't know. You want so bad to have a meaning. That's what you program with. The minute I say life has no meaning or purpose, people look at me like I'm crazy. The reason why you look at me like I'm crazy because you're so programmed by the system. You're so engulfed within the system that me talking like this scares you. Me saying that life has no meaning or purpose scares you because it fucking don't. Because you know why? Because you're only here temporarily. So what is your purpose? So what would be your purpose? But anyways, folks, y'all be good, man. I know I'm ranting a lot and shit, but y'all be good. Y'all still aware. Your boy's out.